Did you just get a Switch? Do you need a game to play? How about one that'll suck hours out of your life, accidentally turning a 30-minute game sesh into 2 straight days of non-stop play? A game that consumes your dreams and all your thoughts, forcing you to neglect your Tamagotchi because you can't stop playing. How does that sound?
This is 5 things you should do first in Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I just barely got a Switch, so I'm definitely late to the game, but holy tish, this game is amazing. Breath of the Wild is such a treat to play. It's a game with essentially no limits and a huge world to explore. Anywhere you can see, you can pretty much take Link there. You are really only limited by your creativity and the ability to think outside of the conventional ways of doing things. But that's enough simping for now. There are many different ways to play this game, with not one specific way for you to explore Hyrule or traverse dungeons. That being said, there are tougher enemies that will take more skill and more powerful weapons to defeat. So, I mean, like walking up to a Lionel with your tits out and some wood in your hand might not be the greatest idea. But hey, different strokes for different folks. I've played through this game a couple times now, and every time I've played through it, I've done it differently. But these are a few things that you should do first to help you out on your epic quest, and that will help you enjoy the game a little bit more. The first thing you should do when dropping into the wonderful world of Hyrule is, when you finish shrines and collect spirit orbs, you should upgrade your stamina before you get a bunch of heart containers. Pretty much everything in this game uses stamina. Gliding, swimming, climbing, running, mounting horses, charged attacks with weapons, and getting that slow motion Red Dead Redemption Deadeye. There have been countless times when I'm gliding and I run out of stamina and drop to my death. Or I'm forced to land right where I am, leaving me stranded in some remote location. Or I'm gliding and I hit the side of a mountain and start to climb, but darn Link, you're tired. I guess you better fall to your death. Or I'll be taking a dip in Lake Hylia and Mr. Link ain't no Michael Phelps and shoot, now he's drowning. The worst is when you are climbing a huge mountain, and just when you're about to reach the top, Linky gets all tuckered out and decides to fall all the way down. So yeah, stamina is everything in this game, and I feel like the first time I played through it, I died more to the lack of stamina than actual enemies. But hey, I suck at video games. The second thing you should do is learn to cook. There are no collecting hearts in this game, so eating food is the main way to replenish your health. I remember the first time playing through Breath of the Wild, and I felt like I was always out of food. Just pounding mushrooms and apples wasn't cutting it. You can make some really cool dishes in this game by combining ingredients. Some dishes can replenish all of your hearts and give you a couple extra, while other dishes can give you hearts and stamina, and even backup stamina. You can also make dishes that can grant you some cold resistant or heat resistant and even shock resistant, as well as increasing your stealth or strength or even defense. Plus, you can make elixirs as well that you can consume doing essentially the same thing. So yes, I know you gamers aren't out there cooking in the real world, so the least you can do is learn to cook in a fake one, and hook a bro up with some life-saving snacks. The next thing you should do in Breath of the Wild is pretty straightforward, but you should learn to fight. The combat in this game is actually really fun and quite pleasing once you get the hang of it. There are many different ways to go about fighting enemies, from perfectly timed dodges that freeze time and allow you to do flurry attacks, to deflecting enemy hits with your shield. Which, if you can get good at that, it's really effective against Guardians and Lynels. Not to mention stealth. Stealth is good too. You can also use your Sheikah Slate in combat, which takes us to the next thing you should do. Learn to use your Sheikah Slate. So many times in my first playthrough, I forgot about my Sheikah Slate and its abilities. So many battles I was in could have easily been won if I would have used it, from picking up metallic objects to freezing enemies with stasis. Not to mention, when you use stasis on objects and smack them a few times, you can grab onto them and use them as a way to travel. Just be careful. Another main part of Breath of the Wild is puzzle solving, and lots of puzzles are solved by using your Sheikah Slate. That being said, there are many different ways to go about solving puzzles in this game with your Sheikah Slate, so learn to think outside the box and get creative with it. Now, before we get into the last thing you should do, here are some honorable mentions to assist you in keeping Link alive and your Switch as well. Arrows are pretty huge in this game, so every chance you get, you should stop by shops and buy arrows. You will use them constantly in battle, puzzle solving, and getting Korok seeds. Smash every rock you see. Most rocks hold valuable ores, which you can sell to shopkeepers and Beetle for a lot of rupees. Honestly, I don't know how Beetle has so much money. I have sold him thousands and thousands of rupees worth of ores, and he's just like,
"Hey, thanks, peasant. Now get the f*** out of here."
Collecting wood and flint for campfires. They're pretty useful if you don't have any fire arrows or fire weapons. You can light torches or arrows from campfires to burn vines, melt ice, light grass on fire, and to light other torches. Plus, you can rest at campfires to pass the night along. Find quark seeds to expand your inventory. It makes deciding on what weapons to keep and which ones to eat off cliffs less frequent because you can hold more. Learn to shield surf. It's really fun and it makes getting down mountains a joy. And now, the last thing you should do once you've gotten the hang of the basics is go complete the Rito Divine Beast first, because the special ability you gain is Rivali's Gale, and oh my gosh, that power-up makes life so much easier in Hyrule. It allows you to charge up and fly quite a bit off the ground, allowing you to get to higher locations fast. I use this ability constantly. You're able to use it 3 times too before it has to recharge, plus it recharges pretty quick, allowing you to do it over and over again. I use this to get to the tops of towers, to cheese dungeons, and to climb to mountains very quickly. This ability makes getting anywhere in Hyrule a whole lot easier and faster. Wait for it.
Rivali's Gale is now ready.
It's the sweetest words you'll ever hear in this game. Breath of the Wild is one of the most fun games I have ever played. So many hours spent just exploring new parts of Hyrule, finding new weapons, and solving some of the most creative puzzles I've ever seen. Not to mention the beautiful and breathtaking scenery that this game has to offer. Even if you're not a Zelda fan, you could pick up this game and fall in love with it. There's so much to do, and there's so many secrets to uncover. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is definitely a game that everybody should play at least once. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also check out these other videos we've done on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Jeff. He was the guy that narrated at the beginning. He's done a lot of narration work for our channel. We really appreciate him. I'll link his channel down in the description. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I mean, have a good one. Stay safe out there, boys and girls, and as always, keep it rad.